my name is Aaron, and I am part of Group 7, and our brand or presentation is going to be revolving around the brand of Liquid Death, and I will give my partners the chance to introduce themselves.
My name's Erica.
I'm George.
All right, and Liquid Death is our brand. So to start off with Liquid Death, I wanted to touch in on the research aspect of Liquid Death, pretty much how it originated and how it started as the growing company that it is today. So to first start off, Netflix creative director Mike Cesario, he became one of the first founders of Liquid Death and wanted to explore the venture of obviously the drinking company and the drinking market in general. And he saw very successful numbers in the first few years. I think they already revenued around 45 million, and that included 3 million in merchandising sales and other proceedings. So they did that through their use of their website, just kind of advertising their design and their aesthetically pleasing visuals in a unique and timely fashion. The audience members kind of ranged from a bunch of people. I mean, obviously anyone can drink drink Liquid Death, as it's non-alcoholic beverage that is, essentially serves as like a tall boy. It's meant to look like it's an alcoholic beverage, but it's really not. And this audience, includes a wide range of demographics, as I said before, but the main appeal was towards rock fans and extreme sport athletes. And I think that's a lot of it has to do with the almost aggressive visual they put out with like the skull and the black, the dark theme of their website. And, they're trying to reach bigger audiences. So they're trying to get as many people as they can to consume their product. And they even collaborated at one point with skateboards, and legend Tony Hawk had mixed into their design. So that was a nice little niche they tried to do to appeal to a younger audience, but obviously reach a greater demographic as a whole.
So we have our brand positioning and product differentiation, fashionable merch, and edgy commercials that have gone viral and presents itself as the rebel of bottled water companies. While competitors advertise their product for what it is, purified drinking water, over time the message becomes plain and thoughtless. So Liquid Death really goes above and beyond to represent water in a cool, edgy way, presenting a refreshing change for its younger audience as well as longtime consumers. Mike Casero in the article, The Cool of Liquid Death, a lot of brands that are in the alternative space are really unhealthy. We wanted to give people permission to participate in this cool rock and roll band without needing to consume something gross. Rebellious and edgy, yet refreshing and environmentally friendly.
And I wanted to touch on a lot about the consumer insights of Liquid Death. So obviously with the marketing team, I think a lot of people and a lot of consumers in general, they always appreciate the value of a good message. What can you monetarily stand to gain from buying Liquid Death? This is evident in the marketing team's goal of trying to work towards a promotion of environmentally safe products and taking care of the planet as much as possible. And so that's kind of just giving people the incentive that if they go with Liquid Death as a product, they feel like they're contributing to the greater good of the environment and to making the world a sort of a better place. Another use of consumer insight is the subtle irony that Liquid Death uses in its commercials. I'm going to play one here that's an example of the Super Bowl commercial that they had. And you can just kind of see that the humor value and kind of the shock value that Liquid Death provides into this. They're not taking themselves in a super serious note, but at the same time, they know that their message is going to get across, people watching it. And with the Super Bowl, obviously, most of the people in the world are watching it. So this was definitely a commercial that had a funny twist to it and definitely kept people engaged. So I'm going to play this real quick. Kind of like what I referred to earlier, just the elements that they incorporated was obviously with the humor and the shock value. You think these kids are partying and they're drinking, but obviously they're just kids. And then you go at the end and it's just water. So obviously there's the comic relief to it. And then the hashtag death to all plastic was just another touch on the promotion of, the Liquid Death product as being environmentally safe. So that was a cool little incorporation of both elements.
Campaign objective aims to eliminate the excessive usage of plastic water bottles by helping people transition to their own environmentally friendly water. So above it being edgy and cool, the main goal is just to death to plastic and ultimately help the world become a better place through that way. And then the big game commercial with kids hydrating at a party commercial emulates how fun it could be to just drink water, and it's for everyone. So, I mean, in the beginning, this commercial is really shocking, but that's how you draw people in is through, wow, like, what are these kids doing? And then the pregnant woman, but it, at the end, it sums it up. It's just water. Consumers will first question the brand, and if they're interested, they will buy the can.
Okay, so the association facet is implemented in this campaign because of the unique symbolism Liquid Death uses to draw people in. So essentially, like in the association facet, it'd be like, what is this brand associated with, and like what type of message is it trying to convey? So just kind of going back to that first bullet point there, even in the same name of the brand, Liquid Death, it's kind of associated with a darker, kind of like a darker type of imagery, like a rock and roll type of like a punk type of image, which you wouldn't expect from a traditional water company. And that being said, so it takes a simple creation, which is water, which is a neat, like a huge audience, into something exciting and different, standing out in comparison to its competitors, and bringing something new to the table. It appeals to a younger and edgier generation, yet they include people of all backgrounds in their commercials by showing little kids, pregnant women, and the elderly in order to emphasize that it's just spring water. And the skull of the front of the can is extremely intimidating, but meets the need for thirst and the environment. So as kind of I was saying before, like the product that is being portrayed, and it's just water, which is a need for everybody, like it's a basic need. So there lies the audience, and in addition for it, and not only providing that service for the customer, but it also provides a like a moral duty to the earth by helping it in a way of reducing pollution of plastic.
And to segue into the big idea and the message, so obviously the goal is to kind of give like a safe alternative message, alternative to alcoholic products and drinks. That not might not be appealing to beverage consumers being presented in a brand itself. So it's actually a known fact that a lot of people aren't really inclined to drink alcohol. A lot of people think that alcohol obviously poisons your body and poisons your mind. And I read a study based on like off of healthexperts.com. There was a study that said that I think more than a good 35% of people won't prefer to drink alcohol, which kind of works in Liquid Death's favor because it's essentially a drink that gives you the good amount of quality that you would want, kind of has that visual appeal that it is an alcoholic drink, but in the end of the day, it's just watered, right? So it's meant to provide a safer alternative to drinking alcoholic drinks. And as I said before, it doesn't take itself super serious, but it does know that it has that appeal. It wants to leave like room for some jokes, which I think the audience in the grand scheme of things can appreciate. And they obviously segue into that with like a "Murder Your Thirst" slogan, which again is the super extreme, super aggressive brand that they're trying to portray. And as you can see here from their merch design, again like very extreme, uh, sort of retro aspect of buying your drink. It kind of gives like this mysterious aspect to, okay, this obviously this brand is not you know super serious and trying to provide like the right message, but they're trying to provide just an entertainment value to their drink. And I think when you can do that without having to advertise how good your drink tastes, it really does go a long way to separate yourself from other competitors. And now I wanted to touch into our media plan. So obviously, I wanted to say that for advertising, it does want to build off this edgy and mysterious advertising of, is it really just water? And that can go into a lot of finding out what is the product trying to get, how the product is trying to get their message across. And a lot of it has to do with obviously YouTube videos, billboards, social media pages. Digital marketing will probably be the main platform that Liquid Death will operate on, just because they generate so much revenue from their website. It only makes sense to use their social media platforms, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., to kind of work with their website in a way they can link both together, and they can get as many consumers as possible going to their website moving forward. So that's definitely one thing they can utilize to their advantage. And I guess for PR, like the message is going to be clear, like killing plastic water bottles. They're very anti use against plastic. And just like not only something that's like an alternative to the plastic, but something that has like a cooler design to it. When you want to get the liquid death drink, you're kind of interested in which, not only like which can style you want to get, but like it has that other advantage where it's environmentally safe as well. And I think that's where liquid death has an advantage in PR. And now for the media objective, yeah. So before, as I mentioned prior, they're not advertising how good their drink tastes. They're more advertising their visual appeal to the younger crowd, and not just from like a teenager perspective, but children are able to drink it as well. As you saw from the Super Bowl commercial, you just had younger children, ages probably like 8 to 10, just chugging it, and that goes a lot into why they believe their broadcast advertising is such at a high point, because in in a reality you've never seen that kind of ad where it's been like, wow, this is totally shocking, kids are just chugging at like a party like it's nothing, but then at the end you just realize they're just drinking water. And so that's definitely, if you dive into it a little bit deeper, that's just definitely a way for them to say, look, this is safe for children to drink as well, but they do it in a more creative and unique way than just, okay, this drink tastes good, it has all these benefits, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's why people are going to have that humorous appeal to it, and it will gravitate a lot of their audiences and fans. And then just for reference, their website has been very successful with merchandising, and then a lot of people that actually do buy a Liquid Death, more than 50% of those that buy Liquid Death also purchase a shirt with their drink.
Okay, so the timeline or schedule of like our media campaign. So it's for the first 3 months, right? So in the first month, it's going to be the media analysis, it's going to be the first stage of the process. And it is, who is our target audience and what is the most effective way to reach them. So essentially, kind of short, what we want to make sure here is that there is an audience and there is a need for the product that we are trying to showcase and we're trying to push out there. That it's just not going to be a dead end message, right? As Liquid Death is mostly directed toward a younger audience. Most of its advertising resides within social media communities such as Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and even Facebook, to mention some. In addition to traffic analysis across different platforms such as TV, radio, billboards, and etc. By saying traffic analysis in this first month here, it would be essentially the amount of like response that the audience gives out to per se social media advertising, like a social media post, how interactive the potential customers are, if there is any interest for this. With that, getting into month two, it would be the product pre-sale campaign. So what is the image being created for the product by the advertising campaign, and who would be willing to buy this product? So kind of going hand in hand with the first month, kind of into that media analysis segmentation of is there going to be a market for this, and who is responding to this, who is liking this, who is talking about this, is there like buzz being created, what type of advertising lens is being applied, in other words, how are our ads engaging the audience, what is the image, what is the lens that like we like what and what type of image or focus would we want our audience to recognize our brand as? What do we want to remember from our brand? What is different about us that our competitors don't have? Brainstorming the right approach for a product. Evaluation of product demand ensures a need for the service and business or product being provided. And then the final product testing, of course, is we also want to make sure that the product we are delivering is a product that can withstand the market and the competitiveness of other brands. And by that meaning delivering a quality product, delivering it in time, and making the experience a enjoyable and pleasant experience for our audience. And then third month, product launch campaign. So the beta launch is not exactly the big pop up, right? But we're getting closer to that big line. Advertising across different platforms prior to release in order to create some interest or buzz for the product. Okay, so now we know there is an audience for this, or we're going to put out there. Now, how do we keep them engaged? We got to start letting them know it's coming. This is what's going to be happening. Kind of save up for this. Kind of like letting them know what to expect, what to get excited about, and get them talking about it. Pre-launch of product in order to evaluate customer response and projected sales volumes. So essentially, in hindsight, how much buzz is being created and how much audience is being reached, who are we reaching that we can convince to be able to buy this wonderful product. And then, so for the last 3 months, we have our fourth month, which is going to be the main campaign launch. So prime time, right? So the product is released. Going back to what Aaron was saying before, the prime time would be, or of like putting it in a place where it could reach the most audience would be an event with like such a big impact, kind of like the Super Bowl, that essentially all of America has its eyes on, and it's going to be showcased across everywhere, no matter what your interest is. So we have main campaign is underway across all platforms, social media, radio, TV, billboards, and other forms of advertising. So you have all of these cool ads coming out, and all same as well with social media. First round of orders is processed. Who is responding to this and who is purchasing this? We're keeping track. In addition to advertising, it would be beneficial to implement a loyalty program for returning and satisfied customers, facilitating and encouraging return business. So this is kind of dividing into the 5th month and the 6th month of our media plan, which is we've got the people engaged, we've got the customers. They're not possible customers anymore. We've got them buying our product now. How can we keep our brand from being a one-hit wonder and keep it afloat for some time to be able to create a beneficial investment, like a profit. So going into month 5, measure interactions and sales support, evaluate audience response and product demand, who bought it, how big of a hit was it, what components need change, what is working for Liquid Death's customers and what isn't. So essentially here is when we kind of like sift through the ads that maybe didn't have that many response, didn't create as much buzz. Maybe the brand released a flavor or like a sparkling water that necessarily nobody really asked, or like, let's see, PR and customer relations PR and customer relations are key in this phase of the media plan in order to address concerns, suggestions, and errors, ensuring customer satisfaction in order to secure return business. So it is critical in this point that that Liquid Death hears out the feedback from its customers to ensure the most profit is being acquired, and that we are actually hitting that point of what our audience is asking for, that we're delivering that product they want. And then lastly, month 6, the campaign closing and evaluation. The campaign closing and the evaluation of the overall campaign. So how well did this marketing campaign do? Lastly, evaluation of the media campaign as a whole. Was the product or business or service successful? Was the desired message communicated effectively? What was the outcome of the campaign? Did the product sell successfully and is the market profitable? And what are the main takeaways? What factors of the media campaign are beneficial to the business? And what parts could be omitted next time? Final evaluation of the product and return of investment. So yeah, essentially, just kind of polishing up our plan and deciding if the product that we have is a hit and it's going to be profitable, or what changes need to be made.
All right, now moving on to our last slide, we have media strategies. High schoolers and young adults, mainly because of its relevance on social media platforms. Also, since it gives very edgy, rebellious vibes, it caters to a more younger audience. Message frequency, continuity will help keep the brand consistently a thought in people's heads. Message reach, the message will extend across America until it has grown effectively.
And these are our references. And thank you guys for taking the time to listen to our presentation. And hope you get that Liquid Death on the shelf. Thank you so much.